Well, the last time the TV cameras came to Clarence Park, it was an 8-goal thriller in the fourth qualifying round of the FA Cup last season against Ebbsfleet. We lost 5-3 that day, but goodness me, did we put on a show for the TV cameras, but we were ultimately bettered by higher quality opposition from a higher division. Today, it's the third round of the FA Cup proper. I haven't checked. This might be the furthest St Albans have ever made it in this competition. We have Premier League opposition coming to Clarence Park in the shape of Huddersfield. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we got another 8-goal thriller. I don't think we're going to score any of the goals. Hello and welcome to part 18 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have that FA Cup third round tie at home against Huddersfield, and then an equally important National League South game away against Salisbury. Since you were last with me, if we have a look at our league form before FA Cup fever sets in, we've been doing okay. I think okay is the best way to describe this. It took us 2 legs of extra time to get past Kings Lynn in the FA Trophy, but we do have an FA Trophy second round game to look forward to, which ideally we'd get knocked out of that because fixtures are coming thick and fast. Look at this Christmas period we've just played through. We had games on the 17th, 21st, 23rd, 26th, 28th and 30th of December. Our players are broken. They've only had a 5-day gap after that run of games before the Huddersfield game. We're going into this shattered. We've not trained for like 3 weeks. We are a tired team. We could do without, and bear in mind 2 of those games were 120 minutes long as well. We could do without any more football. Huddersfield, you'll be doing us a favour today if you knock us out of the FA Cup. We've made enough money from this competition. We've currently got close to £700,000 in the bank. We've made a £300,000 profit so far this season. Plus we've got today's gate receipts and TV money still to come through. The FA Cup has done us well, but we do need to focus on the league for the rest of the season because the league table is not looking as friendly as I'd hoped. We've got 1 game in hand, which I guess is a positive, but the points gap is starting to grow. There was a point, even in the last episode, where we were maybe 1 win away from being top of the league. We now find ourselves 7 points behind top of the table Woking. Yes, with a game in hand, so a 4-point gap, if we can win our game in hand, isn't insurmountable in the remaining 15 games. Is that right? Kev doesn't do maths very good, but we don't really want to do the playoffs again, or if we've got to do the playoffs again, we want to be at least in the top 2 places, so we've got home fixtures throughout the playoffs and the advantage that comes with that. We know we're capable of beating Woking. I'm fairly confident we're the best team in this division. We've just been battered in recent games by fixture congestion, exhaustion, being part-time. I don't know how many of these other teams are part-time as well. Woking, are you part-time or full-time? Where does it tell us? I think you go on to general, and does it say on here? Oh, they are semi-professional as well. I'll let them off. I know there are some full-time teams down at this level though, because Torquay surely are full-time. Let's have a look at Torquay. No, they're semi-professional too. Well, there you go. That told me. I know Nuneaton last season were professional, but apparently there's no... So I can't really use that one as an excuse. Well, that's one of my excuses ruined. Let's go and play Huddersfield. Let's go take our medicine. And this is the team we're going to put out there to receive the beating that we're about to receive. We've got Davies in goal, a back four of Wyatt, Suckling, Mills and Bloor. We're starting Sanders on the left-hand side of midfield. I've been saying for ages how I want him in the team because of his attacking prowess. These two on this left-hand side are both excellent crossers of the ball. Ben Wyatt's actually been weighing in with some goals recently. I need to make sure I show you the right one. I think it's this one that was an absolutely stunning goal. Full disclosure, it was last night. So if this isn't as stunning as I'm making out, look at that, a 92nd and a 93rd minute goal. We're clinging on. We've got some oomph about us. Is it this one? Is it? Come on, Kev, you should have prepared this in advance. I think it is this one. Sanders to Wyatt. Look at the state of that. Look at the state of it in the 92nd minute. And then Wyatt also got the assist for the second goal as well. But you saw there again, Sanders, Wyatt, both on the pitch together. That time playing the other way round. Today, we play Sanders in front of Wyatt. But I'm playing the two of them together more often than not at the moment because I think it works well on that left-hand side. They're both equally good defensively and attacking. So we've got Sambu, who's back from a holiday. If we have a look at Sambu's recent form, you'll see that for the last 3 games, he's been on holiday because he played every game previously and was shattered. He was on like 40% condition at the end of that Welling game, and I just sent him on a week's holiday. He hasn't played at all. That's part of the reason we've struggled a little bit while he's been away, but he returns today, and as you can see, is the fittest man in the team now, having had his little Christmas holiday that I sent him on. He'll partner Bale in midfield with Patterson on the right because Sadie is injured. In fact, where is Sadie? I think I've got unavailable players turned off. Come on, Kev. It's just so that I don't have to wade through all of the trialists that we always have at the club. Yeah, Sadie's picked up an injury, as has Nielsen, which is why we've got slightly limited options on the wings anyway. And then we're going with Denanga and Merson up front. Akpabire might feel a little bit hard done by, but as you can see, it's been a long time since Akpabire has scored a goal. I know a chunk of them he's been coming off the bench, but there were 4 or 5 games leading up to that where I was persisting with him and thought, you know what, we've got to get Sam Merson back into this team. And Merson's been in decent form since his return. Denanga is in purely on the basis of his heroics in the last round. I don't think he's necessarily the best striker at the club, although average rating suggests he's currently the best player at the club. He's in the best form of everybody. We're going with our normal 4-4-2 counter-attacking system. It's the 5:30 kickoff. We are live on the telly, and we've just got to hope Huddersfield bring their reserves and aren't really up for it. Now, I don't know anything about Huddersfield in real life. Does that look like a full-strength Huddersfield team? The fact I don't think I've heard of him. I've heard of Barini. I don't know that I've heard of anyone else in that team. Have I heard of you? Is he the lad from Liverpool? I might have heard of him. I think we might be facing a below full strength Huddersfield team, which would be perfect. So go out there. Good luck out there. We're going to need it. Yeah, I think that's exactly the message we want to be giving. Oh, goody, a tunnel interview. What are my thoughts? I don't care that Havant and Waterlooville have sacked their manager. Who gives a monkeys? We've got a packed out Clarence Park. I think we have a capacity of 5,000 people, and we'd already sold out days before the game started. So we've got a sold out Clarence Park. Should be 5,000. I think it's 5,007 people is our capacity, so they should all be in the ground. Not many of them Huddersfield either. I think we only sold, I forget whether it's 200 or 400 tickets to Huddersfield. So it's going to be an unusual atmosphere for them. And we've got a big crowd behind us cheering us on. The impossible could happen. It's not going to happen. Merson, though, finds Patterson. We've got Denanga in the middle. Oh, my word. Adam Bale has put us 1-0 up. And quite rightly does a cartwheel. I was tempted to cartwheel out of my chair. That is ridiculous. We are 1-0 up against Premier League opposition. Call this off now. That's it. Let us through. I mean, look at that for a finish as well. That is a TV finish if ever I saw one. Adam Bale has just done that. He's done this live on the telly. Look at this. Let's look at it again. Just bang. That's how you score a goal. Welcome to non-league Huddersfield. I'm worried that might have just woken them up. But at the same time, with the atmosphere, it might ruin them. No, there you go. It woke them up. This is where the pain begins. We had our few minutes of excitement. We can forever say that we had a few minutes where we were in the lead against Premier League opposition. It doesn't matter what happens from here. We were in the lead, and look at the state of the stats. Oh my word. We had 10 minutes. Can you imagine the noise coming out of Clarence Park for those 10 minutes where we're in the lead against Huddersfield? It would have been absolutely insane. And now just before half time, they do make it 2-1. And I'd like to think we're still singing just as loud as we were all the way through. This has got to be one of my proudest moments playing Football Manager. Just for a team to completely overachieve what we should be capable of doing. It's unheard of. I don't know that I've ever had a Conference National League South team get to the third round of the FA Cup before, never mind play against Premier League opposition when we get there. So I'm very proud right now that it's been, at least scoreline wise, a relatively competitive first half. Team talk time. I'm delighted with their performance so far. I've got to be delighted with their performance so far. They're happy that I'm happy. And If we end up conceding another 4 or 5 in the second half, who cares? But imagine if we score a second one. Suckling's nervous and he absolutely shouldn't be. We should all just be enjoying the experience. Plus, for a lot of these players, it's an opportunity to put themselves in the shop window. They're live on telly. They're all non-league players. They're all playing part-time. There's going to be people... Adam Bale, as an example. Surely, if you're a League 2 manager... 3-1 now. Surely, if you're a League 2 manager, though, you've got to look at that finish from Bale and think, you know what? It might be worth a cheeky little 100,000. Let's just take him. Let's give him a year just to see if he can be any good. It's certainly what you'd be doing in real life. And I think that's always been one of the big issues with Football Manager, because the scouting system, it's one of the reasons I don't like using Player Search or anything like that, but because the scouting system in game is so accurate, it's rare to get a player. There's not going to be a single player in our team now who will ever play in the Championship, for example. Bale's in again. My word, Adam Bale is having a game. But there won't be, there's no possibility of a Jamie Vardy in Football Manager, because the players with that kind of potential don't get released and find themselves playing in the conference. And it's a shame, because I'd love to see some of these players go and play in the Football League. It's the January transfer window. Sign a couple of our players, somebody. They deserve it. Blur heads forward to... Oh, Bale's going to get sent off. Oh, no. He's been up for it, that's for sure. Bless his cotton socks. He has had one of the most ridiculous games of his life. He's played brilliantly, scored one, almost got another, been a nuisance, been the best player on the pitch for us, and got himself sent off. I mean, he's certainly drawn attention to himself, that's for sure. I have no idea what to do here. Merson's going to have to come off, and I guess we bring on Bosma to just slot into that midfield position, and Denanga's going to have to just toil away up front on his own. I guess we're going to have to adjust him. He's got to be attacking if he's going to be up there on his own. A pressing forward on attack. And we might make a second substitution, actually, and just adjust some. Maybe one of the fullbacks. Maybe we bring on Stuart Wilkin. And what I want to do now is reward players who deserve to play in this game. So I want to get Wilkin on. Wilkin can come on for Ben Wyatt, and we'll drop Sanders back. And then we'll swap those two over, because Patterson's natural on that left-hand side. And then I kind of want to get Akpabire on, maybe for the last 10 minutes or so, just because he deserves to... I mean, he's one of the reasons we got this far. He deserves to have 10 minutes in this game, because he's played very well to get us here. Look at the state of that. I mean, those stats, the shots and the possession are ridiculous. The thing that I'm taking a lot of pride in is the clear-cut chances. They're only 2-1 ahead on clear-cut chances. And there is such a gulf in quality between the two teams. But we are absolutely clinging on and being awesome heroes. And I cannot fault them at all. Right, let's get Akpabire on for Denanga, because he deserves his 10 minutes of running around up there as well, playing against the Premier League defence, just so he can decide for himself if he's got what it takes to move up to a higher level. And I'm happy. I hope there's nobody saying bottle job or anything like that down in the chat. I know they're all... I mean, they're not imaginary players yet. They're real players in an imaginary scenario. But goodness me, have they done well. They deserve your praise. Let's passionately say I am pleased with their performance. They're delighted. A couple of them switched off when my assistant manager got involved, but who cares? We're proud. But now we need to take that form and that performance back into the league. Let's check our money. We've made another 100 grand there. I don't know how much of that is TV money and how much of that is gate receipt. Let's have a little look. So the FA Cup, we made 72 grand from the FA Cup this season. Gate receipts this month. So not a huge amount of gate receipts, but TV money is surely in here somewhere. I don't know where TV... Oh, TV revenue is there. So we made £72,000 in TV money. Wowzers. That's... That cup run has made us about £400,000, which is not too shabby. Now we focus on the league. Just the one change for the Salisbury game then. Bosma comes in for the suspended Bale. He's only suspended for one game, so he'll be back very soon. I can't fault him, really. I know he got a bit excited and got himself sent off, but he's young and he looked awesome, so I'm going to let him off completely. It does mean a return to the bench for David Noble, who I mean, he's been a bit injured this season, as we know. He's recovered, not advice, that's the wrong one. He's recovered from both of the injuries that he's had. He is retiring at the end of the season, but we have got him confirmed to be signed, just rolling his contract straight over and becoming a coach at the club once his playing days are over. So David Noble will continue to be part of our coaching structure going forward because, you know, it's a close personal friend of mine, and I like the fact that we've got an old man knocking around the place. It makes me feel younger, which is always good. But we do need a performance from Bosma today, or else we're going to see David Noble because, you know, we've got to get back to winning ways. I am going to be assertive. Our team should win this game because we've just put up a good fight against a Premier League side. Where are Salisbury in the league? Salisbury are... can't see them. Salisbury are 12th. So, I mean, we should, in theory, be better than them. Obviously, we are away from home, which is always a little bit of an issue for us. But this is our game in hand as well. So it's very, very important for our promotion push that we play well. But we've conceded a goal after 14 minutes. First highlight of the game. We're 1-0 down from a set piece. And it does give me the opportunity to shout at the players and sort them out a little bit. Because we do need to get out. Oh, that was awful. That was just very, very poor. And we need to get straight back into it. Let's get creative. Let's get straight back into this game. Get up the other end. Score a couple of goals before half time. We need a win if we're realistic about automatic promotion. We need a win. Now, obviously, before the season started, we weren't talking in terms of automatic promotion. We'd have been very happy with the playoffs again. And I guess as long as we get promoted through them, the playoffs will be fine again. But I think the quality of this team this season, it would be a very disappointing outcome if we didn't end up getting promoted after all the good stuff that we've done. Blore crosses over to Denanga, and that's a massive miss from Denanga. Goodness me. How on earth do you miss a chance like that? He gets himself into such great positions, but oh my word, does he miss some chances as well. Sheesh. Right, assertive. I do expect to see better in the second half. It's not okay for us to just roll over and have them tickle our bellies. And I don't think I've said that on Non-League to Legend yet this year. That's it. That's classic Kev coming through. And I thought they were lobbing. A lobbed header over the top of Davis there, but he does manage to hold on to it. But we need to get our act together. There's been one shot on target in this whole game, and it wasn't us. And we're in the second half. That is not what we've come to be known as. We need to get back into it. Sanders over the top for Merson to chase onto. He's got a lot to do with players around him. He actually does really well to get the shot away and it be on target and forces the corner. And that from who's our number 11, Wilkin. I am impressed with how desperate he was to take that corner. Denanga now on the edge of the area finds Sambu and it's 1-1 just after half time. The combination of the team talk and the shout, I think, has given them the motivation they've needed in this second half, which was demonstrated by Wilkins sprinting up to take that corner, which I like a lot. And Sambu, our captain, back from his holidays, makes it 1-1. And now we just need to go on and win this game in the second half. If we're serious title contenders, that's what happens in the rest of this game. We go and win it now. Bosma plays it over the top for Merson to chase, but it's well ahead of him, and he's going to have to do very, very well to get there. Although they're faffing about a little bit, but Merson doesn't close down. And it's back with Salisbury again in the midfield, and they play it out to this left-hand side. We need to get a tackle in here. Mills heads clear towards Bosma. It's down towards Wilkin, but again, it's a little bit wayward. And that was a catastrophe from both sides. It's lobbed over Davies again. Our player comes in behind, kicks it into the crossbar facing an open goal, and we absolutely get away with one there. But we really, really, really need to sort ourselves out. Wilkins actually having a really poor game despite his little sprint for the corner. Merson's also not playing well. They seem like two easy attacking substitutions that we can make with the players that we've got on the bench to just get out there and try and win the game in this second half. So we'll push Denanga further forward. Akpabire comes in as the pressing forward behind him. And I'm always loath away from home when we're not losing to move away from cautious, because I've got to keep reminding myself that ultimately we are still a mid-table side who are playing above ourselves, and a draw in this game is still a good result for us. It's just not a good result in the context of what's been going on in the league recently, but that says more about the fixture congestion and the rough run of games we had, rather than this match. This match, an away draw, is still fine. Bosma plays it to Akpabire. He's got options. There's Patterson on the right-hand side. Plays it back into Bosma, who finds Sambu. Sambu, big ball over the top, aiming for Denanga. It falls to Denanga and he scores. He missed a big opportunity in the first half. Didn't miss second time of asking. It's 2-1 on 75 minutes. Denanga and Akpabire were actually queuing up to tuck that one away. And I mean, it's a defensive mess up from Salisbury. We've had quite a lot of luck go our way today. That's just poor, but Denanga was sharp to it, and that's, I mean, you know, I mentioned before, he gets himself into good positions. He just doesn't always score from them. I guess if he always scored from the positions he gets himself in, he'd be playing in the Championship, not the Conference South. So you always, players at this level are always going to have a fault of some kind. Right, Wyatt is tired and not playing particularly well, so we're going to take him off, bring Bender on this left-hand side. It does mean that we don't get to see David Noble today, but he's not really fit anyway. Bosma, down to, I mean, we've knocked the ball around so fast there, I can't keep up to it, but it's ended up in the back of the net. It's an own goal. There was at least 4 or 5 touches from yellow shirts there. That was lightning quick. Bender, don't know why he's taking a throw in on the right-hand side, but look how many players this passes through. This was beautiful. And Patterson, I mean, he's aiming at Akpabire there. And he scores even if it's not deflected off the defender. The defender didn't really have anything he could do about it. And deservedly now, we've gone ahead with 3-1 up in the match. And yeah, we look like champions here. This is what promotion teams do. Patterson again. We're rampant at this point. Patterson with the cross. Akpabire hits the crossbar. And my word, it could be 4 or 5. We're absolutely mugging them as well. We've not had a clear-cut chance yet, but we've scored 3 goals and hit the crossbar. Did we hit the crossbar twice? So we've played very well in the circumstances. We've ground out a win when we perhaps didn't deserve one. And that, as they say on the cliche bingo cards, is the mark of a good team. And that's where it leaves us. 4 points off the top of the league. 24 games gone. It's a 42-game season at this level. So we've got, what? Kev, maths. Like 16 games left. 18 games left. So there's a long way to go. Automatic promotion is absolutely still on. We just need to be able to give it our full focus now and not get distracted by the FA Trophy. But I think in light of just how many games I've showed you as part of the FA Cup run and not wanting to drag this season out to 12 episodes again like we did season 1, I think we are going to do a big chunk of games now before the next episode. Where are we now? We're mid-January. I think we might even push on all the way to March time. Unless something particularly interesting happens between now and then, maybe look at somewhere around the Eastbourne, Cheshire, Maidenhead games, depending on who our most close rivals are at that point. So then do that one and then finish the season off. So do 2 more episodes to finish off this season. Unless, of course, we go on a big FA Trophy run or it looks like things are going wrong. Because then I guess I have to show you things going wrong. But anyway, if you have enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.